So the real estate market is changing quite a bit as we get to the second half of 2022. Obviously, there's more inventory, the interest rates have gone up, that big spike in prices has leveled off where people aren't jacking up their prices as much anymore. But more importantly, behind the scenes, you're also seeing a lot of home building really putting on the brakes. And according to this article in the Wall Street Journal, housing starts declined 9.6% because of inflation and higher mortgage rates. So that's not a big surprise, right? If you're a home builder and you see mortgage rates go up, you see inflation go up, you see maybe a recession happening, you maybe see cost of materials go up. What are you having a flashback of? Well, 2007 and 8, right? Where if you're a home builder, you know what happened then. A lot of home builders went bankrupt. The economy crashed. It was a disaster. So any home builder that's in the industry right now is at least aware of 2008. Look, that was only about, 12, 14 years ago. It wasn't that long ago when this was happening. That's not something that people forget about. So you're going to very quickly clam up and stop building a lot of homes. Well, what's that going to do for the marketplace? Even if you don't need to buy a house, even if you don't need to transition from renting to buying, this slowdown of new home construction is going to have a very serious effect for the future. Already, before we got into this slowdown, there was already a home shortage. There were more people that wanted to buy a house than there were houses to buy. That's why you had all those bidding wars, 20 people lining up to buy a house. You had home prices spiking through the roof. Those people are still out there wanting to buy a house. They did not buy a house. There's no more houses that were built since then. A few, but not that many. The estimates from various government agencies say that 4 or 5 million new homes need to be built just to keep up with the existing market right now, not counting new people coming into the market over the next few years. So if the building industry is cutting back on home building, what is that going to do for the future of the market? Sure, right now, we may have hit a little bit of a high spike on prices for homes in 2021, where they went up real fast, real quick, and people are kind of catching their breath. But remember, people still need houses. Everybody needs 4 walls and a roof to live in, right? The people who were trying to buy a house in 2020 and 21 that failed because the prices were too high, or because a cash buyer came in, or an investment company came in, or because somebody outbid them, they still want to buy a house. They're living wherever they were. Maybe they're renting, maybe they rent a house, maybe they live with other people, maybe they live in a smaller home and they want to upgrade. Those people are still out there. The home building volume has gone down, so it's only making the problem worse. We calculate that by the year 2025, there will be 6 to 7 million home deficit in the United States from people who need a place to live. There are certainly more apartments being built, and there are rental properties being created, but there's also more people coming into the market every year. It's estimated that 1.2 million people come into the market every year that need to buy a house. And that may seem like a lot, but it's really not. There's 100 and some odd million households in the US. That's 1%. So the housing market needs to add 1% per year, which is 1.2, 1.3 million. Plus the 5 million backlog that already exists. You add on the fact that the home building volume is going down by 10%, you may be lucky to just keep up with the 1.2. You're probably going to go backwards 500,000 houses a year. So in 3 years, you may add another 1.5 million onto what's already needed. This backlog was just starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. Now that door's closed. Interest rates, inflation, materials, labor is shutting that down, so that the housing crisis that may exist in 2025 could be twice as bad as what it is right now. So, what does that mean for you? Well, act accordingly. If you're looking to get into a property that you need a place to live, don't think that 2025 is going to be any better. If you're a builder, what does that mean for you? Maybe find a way to build a house where you can support the end user price. If you are a homeowner and you know you want to move up or down, you may want to take that into account, that the inventory might not be good. Maybe time to build a house on your own. Maybe hire a builder to build a house for you specifically, rather than looking for a spec home. There's a lot of possibilities, but if you look at the numbers, not opinions, not just what people on the news say, look at the actual numbers. Plan for your future, for your residents now, based on numbers. Think about where you want to be in 4 years. 2022 plus 4 is 2026. When you say the word 2026, it might seem like a long ways away, but 4 years is not that long ago. Take 2022 and subtract 4 years. That's the end of 2018. What were you doing then? It's not that long ago, right? So keep in mind your future needs for residents and match that with the economy and the building, and you'll be in good shape.